Let's awaken this beast from its slumber. Alright guys, welcome to the first of what I hope to be many Remotorcycled Motovlogs. Teeny tiny dog. This is the second one of these I've done. The first not being very successful because I was having recording issues. But very helpfully, Gorilla Biker. Welcome to the Gorilla Biker. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, he was very helpful. He gave me some information, and a few helpful others gave me some teapot one and everything else. So hopefully now we've got these people waiting for the laser cruiser. We have some good audio quality, or better audio quality, and also more importantly, we can see what I'm recording. So today I have a little errand to run. I've got to drop something off at a mate's, just south of Aberdeen, and I thought with the day off, I've had the whole week off actually, but with the day off, why do I not just take the mighty Indian and just kind of talk about this bike. I've kind of had it for coming up to 5-6 months now, not done that many miles on it, but just purely with lockdown, winter and everything else, really shitty winter, so it's nice to get back out on it. So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little vlog. I'm going to do another Indian specific blog post, but I love this bike. But anyway, I bought this bike, so we'll take some windy roads, show you some of Aberdeen, need to stop and get fuel. Luckily the roads that I'm going to take are all pretty decent roads for the most part, so they should be quiet. And you can hear me chat at my ass whilst we enjoy the ride. So it's about 10 degrees today, so not too bad. Indian's been having a problem with its battery. Some say it was maybe because I used the battery to try and start my XS750 when my other battery shot the bed. Possibly, I don't know. I think that might actually be what happened. Oh, there's an R8. Yes, please. My mate wants an R8. I want an R8 as well, but my mate really wants an R8. And I think he's going to get one. Jammy prick. So yeah, I've never done one of these before. I quite like talking to myself. Hello. Try not to accelerate too hard because the front wheel does lift rather easy on this big beast. I need to stop and get fuel as well. That's something this bike does not do very well. I think the fuel tank actually sits underneath, which gives you a nice low centre of gravity. Look at me just quoting everyone that's ridden one of these. Interestingly, the bike is, yeah, so it's got a low centre of gravity, which is nice for the handling, but it's got a little peanut-sized fuel tank, and there's not very much that can be done to increase that. I don't know what the range is, but with half a tank, I'm definitely considering stopping halfway through this and topping up, so I don't have to worry about fuel or anything else. Hopefully there's not too much wind noise. Oof da. Oh, you cannot beat the sound of that V-twin. For me, it's the sound of motorcycles. My first bike was a Harley. First big boy bike was a Harley V-twin with straight through pipes, and it was awesome. Like, it wasn't very fast, and it was actually quite shit and agricultural, but it was awesome. Just because of the sound, and for me the sound is so much to do with everything about going fast or just enjoying the experience. My Subaru's got a big tin can, bean can for an exhaust, which I absolutely love. It's fantastic. Go away, van. Oh, that was sick. Oh well. So yeah, the shove on this thing is absolutely phenomenal. Oops! Oh no! I was only... Oh man, someone's turning the road that I want to go. Hopefully I can get past them. To be honest, it's been a while since I've been on a bike. I was, apart from that last time that shit hit the fan, and I had to, well, what happened last time was I tried to take the Indian out. It didn't work. So I took the scrambler out instead, made a nice vlog for 25 minutes, which just ended up not working at all really. Please turn off. Oh. Bye-bye. Lots of old fuddy-duddies out in the cars. Nice bit of water there. Now this thing has a really uncanny ability to throw the tail end out, which is fine, I guess, if you've done a lot of miles on the bike and you're very used to it, but the first few times it happens, it's kind of terrifying. It kind of low progressive swings the tail out and you shit yourself. Well, I did. Maybe people better riders than me wouldn't shit themselves, but I shat myself. For me, it's it's the grunt. It's the grunt out the corners with this thing. Hello, hello, old man. Go back to your home. It's not safe. COVID rules. You don't want to die, do you? So these roads are quite handy. They're all fairly local, which means I don't really have to feel bad. Quite a windy day. She's windy. Man, I hate my motorcycle helmet. It's crap. It's just, I've had it a few years now. It's definitely worth the change. I just keep buying stuff for the bikes rather than safety gear itself, which probably isn't a smart move. We should probably get some better safety gear, but not that this is unsafe. I just wouldn't mind upgrading. Helmet being the first thing. Quite fancy one of those showy glamsters because it's quite a bit lighter. Not sure what they're like in terms of noise and everything. I fancy one of those Rolex, but because I'm not an influencer, they didn't send me one, therefore you can shove up your ass. What I like about this bike is, oh thank you, very good. Good job. What I like about this bike is just the torque. The torque is really quite something else. I'd never ridden anything like it. I've ridden fast sports bikes and everything, and they're good fun. But this, you just get to ride this wave of torque, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm not really gunning it just because I don't really feel the need. Yeah, so this bike, okay, so this bike, I bought this bike I had a business idea that I was going to use this bike for. Oh god, I love that sound. But I'll try and get some good footage of this engine soon, so you can all feel and enjoy. Feel the V-twin through your speakers. Yeah, so I bought this bike with the intent on renting it out. There's a few rental companies in Scotland, but not that many. And where I live, well, I mean, you've just seen for yourself, the roads are pretty damn awesome. So I was thinking about, can I rent this out when I'm not using it? And it pays for itself. If I get like 20 days rental in a month, can I rent this out? And it was going to be pretty low maintenance. I bought it as an asset. I did not that attached to it, purely the point that I bought it with business in mind. I bought it knowing that if the business falls flat on its face, then I can easily afford it and I can still have a bike that I really, really like. So for me, it was a bit of a win-win. it's ended up being disguised as an opportunity to buy a new bike because this rental company hasn't started. A few reasons. COVID's definitely got in the way of this. It's hard to really plan around that, especially when we're confined to our homes. But that's not the main reason. The main reason is I'm meant to be starting a role offshore with work in the next couple of months, meaning I'll be working away for 3 weeks and I'll be off for 3 weeks. And it got me thinking, I should pass this person. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, it got me thinking, if I'm at home for 3 weeks, I'm going to be earning a lot more money, so that kind of looks after a part of it. Doesn't really scratch the business itch for me. There's an itch that I want to do something and create my own, but if I'm at home, I'd quite like to just get out in this thing and not worry about it being rented out, especially if I'm stuck in a floating prison for 3 weeks at a time. So for me, it's almost a selfish. I bought it with the intent of doing this, and I've come around that I just don't really know. The timing's not right. I won't be there to manage it. If I'm leasing out this bike, for example, I want to be able to look people in the whites of their eyes and really understand. Yes, people are going to thrash it, but I also don't want some noob who's just passed his test taking this out bloody kill himself, because it's a fast bike, plus insurances and everything else. So I've kind of just put that on hiatus at the moment. The dream's not dead. I'm not going to be working offshore forever, and maybe I've got an opportunity to partner up with someone and think about how it looks from another angle. This maybe, for me, the rationale was, the roads of Scotland are awesome. This bike, I've always wanted one of these bikes. I'm sure other people would like one of these bikes, so if they can rent it, like you can rent Harleys in America or GS's and shit like that, then yeah, there's nothing to lose. So I'm just telling you about this business idea that I've not actually done anything with. So I don't know, something may happen. Oh shit, sorry old lady. To be honest, that's her fault. She should be inside like that other person. So I'm going to stop and get some fuel in Tesco's, and then there's a few good roads on the way to my buddy's place, so we'll have a look at that as well. I'll have a quick check of the footage as well to make sure I've not just been chatting shit this entire time. This is West Hill. Used to not really be anything more than a few houses, I think about 25 years ago, 30 years ago, but now it's the metropolis of Aberdeen has grown and led to Stuart Mill and every other fucker building houses, and every other company setting up massive buildings. Just give me one of your old buildings so I can turn it into Remotorcycled headquarters. That's all I want. Oh, nice indicating. Stupid bitch! Oh, that's busy. Oh, brilliant. Good job, I don't have to... There's a pump. Oh, it's dead, it's empty. For fuck's sake, everything's full. Alright, I'll go back around. People thinking I'm an idiot. I don't really care. Oh, we'll just go here. This wee guy's done. This bike's so heavy. Just gonna spy. I bet she's not paid at pump. No, she has she? Maybe I'll go behind her. Cheers, sweet cheeks. Oh, fuck's sake. Right. thirsty boy. Look at all these lovely buildings. Why has no one given me one so I can turn it into a garage? It would be nice to expand. My garage is quite small. I don't know if I'd rather set up some kind of community rather than a business, like a renting space with car ramps and shit like that. Oh man, this mong's left, this stupid person's left their cap open. It's difficult. It is difficult driving, adulting. Oh, you've not even closed your fucking cap. What's wrong with you? Like, God, people are so stupid. They are stupid. People are retarded. Like, you had to fill your car up. You just had something inside of that, and your reaction is just to put the hose back and get back in your car and drive off and leave the cap and thing hanging open. What the hell's wrong with you? If that's the attention you give when you're filling the car up, what the hell's it like when you're driving? Christ, to get past this person. What was I saying? So the Indian is now sitting in a place where I don't think I'm going to do my rental business anymore, purely because I don't think I can make it work. There's always a way to make things work, but my heart is quite kind of set on doing some miles and enjoying this bike. Which means I probably could have bought it a cheaper way. I had to, with the intent of bought it outright because I need to own it. I can't lease or do anything else with something that I own. Otherwise, that's against the rules. But that's fine. It also means that I could probably make modifications to it. Dun, dun, dun. Modifications. Yes, modifications. So, this bike is pretty good out of the box. One big thing that a lot of people need to do, and obviously do, is how do they make it sound like the bike they would like it to be? Oh, just pass you in a minute, it's kind of ours. So I think I'm going to get a decat for it, because decats are awesome. I'm a scumbag, piece of shit, harming the environment by getting a decat, but the amount that this bike will run, like they put these massive catalytic converters in bikes now. I don't even know if I need it for the MOT. I still don't know if bikes are emissions tested like cars are. I know I need one for my Subaru, but I've got a cat in my Subaru. Oh, God's sake. Of course you're going left. Surprised you indicated. So yeah, just wait a second. Sorry, concentration time. I think I did 60 there, 62, 63. Yeah, I think I'll get a decat because I really want to hear that V-twin roar. Exhaust's expensive though, decats are about £160. The rest is quite a lot though, like if you want different end cans and everything else. Which is what it is, kind of people have already developed stuff like that. I don't know how much actual science goes into some of these developing of exhausts. I know the Super Trap thing has variable mufflers and everything, so you can modify the back pressure and therefore accordingly have different power profiles and all that kind of shit, but I don't know what the likes of these other people do, despite the ECU itself. I don't know if this is a smart enough self-learning one or if it just needs, like some cars, or whether I think it needs a reflash, especially if you take the cat out because you're increasing the flow and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know if this, I've not got a helmet mount yet. This is a chest mount, which is okay I think, but you can't see when I turn my head, so it probably makes it a bit one-dimensional. Unsure. Please leave a comment. So yeah, the Indians, I'll probably do some modifications to the Indian. I'd like to do some tours this year as well. Like, I love having that scrambler, and the Panther build, once it's done, it's going to be a cool bike. I think I'd like to do some big miles in the Scrambler because I bought it to do some big miles on initially before it shot the bed and I tore it down and everything else. Whereas, so I've not done that yet. But then when you hop on this thing after being on the Scrambler, it's night and day, as it would be. But it is quite hilarious. Like the brakes are very much 30 years old brakes. They are 30-year-old brakes. You can tell. So, but I'd like to do some tours in this thing. I'll just leave it in 6th. Look at that torque. Yes, thank you. I don't know how much this helmet picks up that sound, or whether it's just blasted by wind. I've got one of those dead cats on, so hopefully it works. Either way, this thing's going to get released. I had an amazing ride in driving this road once with my friend Russell, who's got an Impreza like mine, but it's on steroids pretty much. The Impreza puts out almost 500 horsepower. And it's got full racing brake setup, racing coilovers, everything else. It's an absolute machine. So cool. It's terrifyingly fast. God, I love speed and cars and bikes and wind noise apparently through this helmet. Slow down. Well, this got cruise control. It's hilarious that this thing is better equipped than my... Oh, don't put your main beam on. It's better equipped than my Scooby. Like, that's me on cruise. Which is awesome, because my right hand gets really tired for some reason, wrenching the throttle. I don't know, nice little feature. Has anyone been on one of these bikes? Has anyone been on, or fancy one of these? Or what do you ride? Let me know in the comments, because I am a motovlogger now and I engage more. I think this is how it works. This is Peter Cooter, or Peter Coulter as my Irish friend Rick calls it. I swear to God, a Peter Coulter. Go home, it's not safe. Right. I chat some amount of shit. Speaking of chatting some amount of shit, did anyone see Kilted Bushido Build's video last night with Dim Tim, Andy Lee and Ewan Sugarly Shed? It was really funny, really funny. I'm on it next week, which, well, I was on it before, but I'm on it with Dan from Black Dirt Cycles, so it should be good. It was an interesting dynamic with 3 people. I actually really enjoyed it. Thank God I don't have to turn right. What a horrible right turn. Safe. Yeah, it was really funny. Laughed my ass off. There was no holding back, which was really good. So yes, this is Peter Coulter. Not being able to get out. So I'm just going to keep talking because why the hell not? Not being able to get out in the bike's been quite crap, especially last year. I think I only got 1 or 2 good runs out in the Scrambler, which is a shame because it's the first time it's been on the road. But the Scrambler still needs a lot of work. Oh, there's a new Supra. Not seen one of them in the flesh yet. The Scrambler still needs work. I don't think the brakes are good enough. I don't think the let's get this back on. I don't think the brakes are good enough. I don't think the sorry guys, 2 seconds. Yeah, the brakes aren't good enough and the engine's still not running right. So part of the reason I bought a GoPro was because of wanting to record my real-time tuning. So I put a, what do you call it? I put a wideband lambda in the exhaust of the Scrambler because I chose the carburetors. I should not have chosen the carburetors. Stay there. Which is a cardinal sin apparently if you own a dual sport bike to change the carburetors, because some old guy believes Yamaha spent hundreds of thousands of pounds developing this for me to go and change it because I think I know better. Okay, old man, or just boring person. it's a weird train of thought. Us customizers, people who like to tinker, are going to do what we want anyway, with or without the help of shitty forums. So however, I changed the carburetors from the standard Yamaha Trainwreck YDIS things to GPX 250 or Ninja 250 or whatever, because it bolts up perfectly and it fired into life and everything else, and it's got a hell of a lot of low down grunt, probably more so than it did, but it just needs tuned a little bit. It's just not tuned as well as I would like, and anyone who's tried to tune carburetors blind knows that too lean gives X symptoms, too rich gives Y symptoms, which are also very similar to being too lean. It's very hard. I mean, I think I've got the pilot jet down, I've got a nice idle, but I've just not got the needle heights of the main jets right yet. It's not as quick as it should be. Obviously, it's not as quick as this because it's got 3 times the power, but it should be better than it is, considering it should have about 45 horsepower. So I don't feel it's as quick as it is. It should be. So I bought this wideband Lambda. I bought my GoPro because I've always wanted a GoPro, but this main reason was to kind of focus on the tuning software to see what's happening, so I can refer back to it, because funnily enough the tuning software is on my phone. It's all done wirelessly, so I've got a few videos to shoot to get that sorted, get that running nicely. There's a few bits and pieces on that bike I'm not that happy with. I'm aware I've got the Panther, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but so the Scrambler, for example, there's just bits in it I know I could do better, and I'm not going to sell it. I'm not needing to sell it. Yeah, I'm not needing to sell it. I would like to get it to a place where if I wanted to sell it, I would be really happy with it. And right just now, there's niggles on it that probably a lot of people wouldn't notice, but I notice, and I would like to get them sorted. So I'd like to do a better job of mounting the rear mudguard tail light scenario. It's a complete train wreck at the moment, so I'd like to try and engineer something nicer using my newfound TIG welding skills and fabrication skills. And I'd also like to remake the battery box because it appears to be made out of 4mm thick, 3.5mm thick steel, because that's all I could get a hold of. So I would make it a little bit bigger and probably rewire some of the bike at the same time. So there's probably quite a lot of things to do, which is fine. It keeps me busy. It's a never-ending stream of content. That'll get some good footage of this exhaust. Sounds brilliant. So this is a good road. I actually took this road the other day in a Tesla. I borrowed a Tesla for a test drive, and it's on my channel. It's unlisted. It's unlisted because I didn't want people moaning about. I mean, I had the GoPro, but I had to steady the GoPro with my hand, and there's a few occasions where I picked the GoPro up, which probably isn't the most legal thing in the world. So I didn't want to go and publicise this, and not that I think I've got any followers that would be like, oh, look at this is unsafe, tell the police, but I just rather not risk it. I kind of just wanted to make a video because people were asking what it was going to be like. So I don't really have any intention of buying a Tesla, A, because I can't afford it, because the one I was driving was 60 grand, but I just kind of like to see what this whole electric car phenomenon was about. This is a good road though, a lot of nice twisties. Oh, yeah. Sorry, there's a bit of someone on the road there, made me shit myself. Oh. Anyway, so I was on this road the other day in a Tesla, which was good. It was phenomenal, actually. Never been on anything. It kind of reminded me of this. There's elements of this bike that just like if you're in the right gear at the right time, the torque's absolutely phenomenal. The shove you get is completely ridiculous. But the shove you get from the Tesla was, oh my god, I've never felt anything like it. This is close. This is close. I'll behave because I'm on a vlog, and the point is not to sit and do 120 on these big long straights. No, just kidding. So the Tesla was awesome. The Scrambler, oh my god, I completely lost my place. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hopefully people are still listening. If not, okay, I tried. Hopefully the wind speed and everything else is not too bad with the mic. I tried to take a few hints to put my mic from Gorilla Man, the Gorilla Biker. Yeah. So the Scrambler needs bits of work. So that once Panther is off the bench, the Scrambler will be back on the bench. And that's the plan. And then I'll just, so the Panther, for example, that's still not done. It's a bit slower than I would like. However, I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm kind of pushing my skills every time I sit and get on that bike. I'm thinking about things a lot differently. I absolutely love what this bike is teaching me. But it's got me thinking about what's next. So anyone knows I've got a deck out of my neighbour's garage. That was the bike that I bought to restart Remotorcycled. And it's needing done. But I'm not going to keep it. Oh shit, there's a lot of mud there. That was nice. Shat myself. But I'm not going to keep it. But I want to do like a, I think Jish is doing one at the moment, and it's just like it's a build. It's a quick and dirty build. The bike's still going to be done to a quality that I would like. It's going to be a high quality bike, but I'm not going to throw every single bells and whistle at it. I just kind of want to see how I can turn a bike around quickly, because I think if I'd not tried to push my own limitations with this thing, oh Jesus, if I'd not tried to push my own limitations with the Panther so much, it probably would have been done by now. But that's not what that bike was about. I'm not building that bike to a deadline, or as tight a deadline. I think initially I said May, which is probably chatting at my hole, because there's no way I'm going to get it finished for that. But it's nice to have an arbitrary line in the sand that I'd like to me, but whatever. I think this place is up here somewhere. So I want to try and do something with the XSM50. That one had some paperwork issues, so I kind of don't want to spend too much money on it, only to be told, oh no, you can't get that V5. I'm not sure why they wouldn't give me that V5, but I kind of want to be sympathetic to the original V5, i.e. keep it red frame, and just not make it unrecognisable, so that if I do have to go to an SVA thing, they can be happy that the bike's easy enough to get registered. So there's another big straight. This is where I did the Tesla not to 60s. This was the close private road I spoke about. So yeah, that's the plan for that XSM50. But hopefully with my offshore time and my time back, I can just really start getting in the garage. I really want to move house, but that's not going to happen anytime soon with COVID and the fact that Aberdeen market's fallen at its arse, and I kind of need the money out of my house. Kind of at that balance point where I need to move. I don't have infinite levels of cash that I can't just go and buy another house deposit type thing. So, so yeah, the plan after that is either build a bike. I want to start building bikes for me with the intent that I can turn them around quickly, do a high quality job, but then possibly sell them. Like pick a bike that I know I can get hold of quite easily, like a DRZ 400 or not an R80 or a K series, because they're kind of, they're getting lost and they seem to be overdone. So I'd like to try and, or a Harley even like a Sportster. If I could pick up a Sportster and just get to a place where I could develop parts for the Sportster, as well as get bits that I know I can bolt on quickly and everything else, to get quite a cool bike that I can make quite easily. So when I'm back for 3 weeks, I'll strip the whole thing down. Husky Haven, interesting. I'll strip the whole thing down and I'll just get it, do all the fabrication in a week, get it sent to painting and everything else. Then when I come back, I can assemble it and like kind of turn bikes around in like 6-8 week blocks of just intense time. And I obviously will have to see my girlfriend and everything else, but when I'm back, because it can't just all be offshore and garage. But that's kind of the plan. I think that would be quite fun. I don't know. This is fun, sharing my passion. I don't know where I'm going. I think it's further down here. That's why I'm driving like Miss Daisy. So yeah, that's the plan. I don't really know how this has worked out. I'm almost at this guy's place, so it's not going to be very exciting me stopping and I think it's over there, to be honest. So I'm going to call this one a day, I think. It's been a really fun ride here. It's been fun chatting shit to the camera. I hope it's worked. I think I'll just upload it anyway. I think I've been recording this entire time. I might try and do a ride on the way back where I can focus on maybe tying up the microphone for sound, but I don't know how well that's going to work. So until then, I shall catch you guys later on. Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye!